Oh, there she is. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Michael Torphy.
Reverend Valerie Torphy.
This is Greg and Sheila Boston, our producers. We got Stephan Anthony, who's doing our affirmations. We got the one and only, the magnificent Paul Landsittel as our musical. We're going to get started with the prayer, so if you would join me by closing your eyes, finding comfort now where you're sitting or standing. Just tap into that inner self where God exists, that perfect expression of life, as you, as me, as all life. And know that today is the day that God has made, and we're blessed by it. We're blessed by each other, and we're blessed to be in this time and this place. And as we're a blessing to all life, we accept the blessings that life has to offer in the fullness. We are what God made us to be, perfect, whole, and complete. And so I give thanks for this day. I give thanks for this service. I give thanks for all those participating, knowing that we are one in the whole. For this and so much more, I say thank you, thank you, thank you. By releasing, letting go, and letting God, and letting it be. And so it is.
So it is.
And so it is.
Yes. All right, Paul, what you got for us?
For a doorway to the higher ground, we have to go into the mystic. We were born before the wind, also younger than the sun, and a bonny boat was won as we sailed into the mystic. Hark now, hear the sailors cry, smell the sea and feel the sky. Let your soul and spirit fly into the mystic. When that foghorn whistle blows, you know I'll be coming home. When that foghorn whistle blows, I'm gonna hear it. I don't have to fear it. And I wanna rock your gypsy soul, just like way back in the days of old. And together we'll flow into the mystic. When that foghorn whistle blows, you know I'll be coming home. When that foghorn whistle blows, I'm gonna hear it. I don't have to fear it. And I wanna rock your gypsy soul, just like way back in the days of old. And together we will float into the mystic. Too late to stop now.
Yay! That was awesome. I love that song.
Thank
Very
you.
Appropriate too.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to take care of some business. We're not ready for Stephan quite yet, but he can hang us with.
Well, I just got a couple of things.
Okay.
So I just was going to say, like us and check out on Facebook at CSL North Metro. Go to our website at cslnorthmetro.org. You can go to contact us, add yourself to the email list. Go to the prayer request to get prayers for the week, and there's a lot more information out there. And pretty soon we're going to get a new blog.
Oh, darn.
So today's title is Doorways to Higher Ground. Our guest artist you've already met, Paul Landsittel. And the reading for today is from The Art of Uncertainty by Dennis Merritt Jones. Okay, now we're ready for Stephan to do the affirmations in the reading.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Hi there.
Hey, Stephan.
Good morning. It's nice to be back this week.
Nice to see you.
So, ready for some affirmations?
It's coming.
There they
There they are. This week's affirmations are: all is just as it should be, right here and right now. I live in acceptance of limitless good. The brilliance of the divine reveals itself through my thoughts. The pull of Spirit's vision guides my life. God's love exists as every cell of my being. Inner wisdom provides every answer I need. And so it is. And today's reading from The Art of Uncertainty by Dennis Merritt Jones. Between a shakier world economy, increasing unemployment, and related issues, many today are being forced to come to the edge of uncertainty. Just like baby sparrows, they find themselves leaning into the mystery that change brings, because they have no choice. It's fly or die. Others might be led to the edge because they have become aware of the divine creative urge stirring within, whispering, "There is more for you to know, to do, to be." What might be your motivation for coming to the edge of uncertainty? French novelist Anaïs Nin wrote, "There came a time when the risk to remain tied in the bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom." What brings a person to the precipice of uncertainty varies. Sometimes it is the pain of desperation, sometimes the bliss of inspiration. In either case, if you are to unfold your true essence beyond the restrictions of a small, constrained existence, coming to the edge of all you know might look like a risk. But the universal imperative, grow or die, reminds us that not coming to the edge is an even greater risk and even more painful. Whether we come to the edge of uncertainty through inspiration or desperation, the principle remains the same. Within the baby sparrow, there lies something that knows how to fly. It doesn't need to be taught. The knowing is inherent.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Another song by Paul?
Yes. Let's do another song with Paul. Thanks, Stephan.
This is Spirit of a Child. Just something you need to be to get through the doorways to higher ground. Father is looking for his son, someone he played with long ago. He's flying his little spaceship around the living room, where only the spirit of a child gets in. Mother is looking for her little girl, someone she played with long ago. She's hiding away in a little dollhouse, where only the spirit of a child gets in. Only the spirit of a child gets in. I put all my dreams in a treasure box. I got so busy that I lost the key. Gonna find some way to break those locks but only the spirit of a child gets in. Only the spirit of a child gets in. Heaven is a place inside my heart, making a home just for me. I take all my troubles and I knock on the door, but only the spirit of a child gets in. Only the spirit of a child gets in. Only the spirit of a child gets in.
Thank you so much, Paul. That was
Awesome.
beautiful.
Thank you. We're going to do our thing and we'll invite you back a little bit later. Thanks for doing that. All right.
So that reading reminded me of the year we had I think they were finches, make a nest in one of my hanging flower pots just right outside this window. And our two granddaughters, who are 5, I think were 1, maybe 1-ish at the time. And so we were able to, okay, first of all, they killed all my plants, but that was beside the thing. After they'd done that, it was really fun to have them there. So we got to watch them build the nest, and then we got to watch the eggs, and then we got to watch the eggs hatch. And so we got up one morning, and there was only one little bird left in that nest.
Yeah.
And the rest of them had all flown away. And so we watched for quite a while. And so a lot of birds got around, and they were all up on the roof on the neighbor's side and in the tree and around, and they just kept chirping away. And I could just see them saying, "You can do it, you can do it, you can do it." And so go right over to the edge and flap his wings a little bit and go back to the middle. And he'd go, all right. It took quite a while, didn't it?
It did.
Go over, and then he'd go back to the middle. And then finally, and the whole time, the other birds are going, "You can do it, you can do it, you can do it." It was so sweet to watch. And then finally, he just went over to the edge and took off.
And they all did.
And yeah, and then they all left, and that was that. But it was really nice to, and it was nice for the kids to watch the whole thing unfold with the eggs and the babies, and then when they flew. So
yeah, it was definitely that little bird's doorway, and he or she had a hard time moving through it. Ernest Holmes says, "The doorway to the absolute stands open at the center of our intuitive perception." Let me read that again. "The doorway to the absolute stands open at the center of our intuitive perception." One thing that I'm very grateful for in my life, and that is I've always not been afraid to step through doorways. And I've stepped through a lot of them in my life. And I've always been grateful for where they have taken me. The good ones, the bad ones, they're all the same because it's all good all the time. So I ask you, how have your doorways been? Have you been aware of them? Have you been sleeping through them? Do you know that they're there? I'll answer that for you. Yes, they're always there. We've heard the saying, "In my Father's house, there are many rooms."
yeah.
And this is true because you can step through one doorway, and in that room, there are many, many more doorways that we can take. Some doorways end up as an experience of making a mistake. Some doorways end up as this life-changing great event that inspires you and others around you. But what I know is that each doorway is as important as the other, that there's not one more important than the other. They're all important. Any doorway that you walk through means you had the courage to walk through it and take that stand.
Or somebody behind you pushing.
Yeah, I was going to get to
Sorry,
that.
I
Took my speed away. No, that's okay. Because there is 2 ways. The first way is intuitive. We get this hit, and it comes seemingly from out of nowhere, and we have the choice to step through it or not step through it. But there's two ways that you know it's a life-changing doorway. One, when it comes, you get excited and you get all this energy and you can't wait to get started. The other was like, uh-oh, you want me? Am I supposed to do this? And either way, it takes courage to step through the doorway.
Well, and sometimes you get pushed.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that.
Oh, well, okay. You didn't say that. You said that before, but then you didn't say that.
Because it's
Later?
yeah,
Oh,
that's okay. We're just doing this thing here. Anyway, I want to relate a story of a person that I knew when I was attending Agape in Los Angeles. And he was an artist. He liked painting and everything. And he signed up to take foundation class. For those who may be new to our service, foundation class is the first class that you can take in our spiritual teaching that can lead you to become a practitioner or even a minister like me. So he took this foundation class, and in the very first class, they're asked to think of a project they want to do in the last class. And the class is usually challenged to do something that they wouldn't normally do something that they wouldn't even consider themselves doing. Well, this young man decided he'd never sat at a piano before, he'd never taken lessons. He decided he was going to get a keyboard and learn to play a song for his project. Not sing a song, but play a song for the project. And in those days it was 15 weeks long. 15 weeks go by, and darn if he didn't play a song. And at the end of the song, he said, and it's my intention to, before the year is up, to perform at Agape on their platform. And before the year was up, he did a Wednesday night service. And he was this grand example of what it's like to step through a doorway that challenges you and takes you on a journey that you never even thought you could do. Everything is possible in spirit. And another way, which he just said a couple of times, is being pushed through a door.
I've been pushed a few times.
I know you have. I think I may have been the one pushing. But this one is about you pushing me.
Oh.
We were in Fresno, and Valerie got this intuitive hit that we should join the
Interfaith.
Thank you. Interfaith group. Now, this interfaith group, what they did was each month, the people that belonged to this group would go visit a particular religion, and they would teach us and instruct us on what their religion is all about and how they practice. And it was really a beautiful concept. So we go to this meeting thinking, well, maybe we can be one of the churches they come and see. And we're going through this meeting, and there's all this talk about, well, it doesn't look like it's going to continue, and we're probably going to have to end it because nobody wants to volunteer to coordinate it and to put it together. And Valerie and I are sitting there like, don't ask us, please don't ask us. Because these people have been together for a long time and we were brand new. So by the end of the meeting, we were in charge. And I tell you, from the very get-go, I didn't want to do it. I don't know why I didn't want to do it. It just seemed like extra work.
It was extra work.
Yeah, well, I didn't know it was going to be that much extra work, but I thought, we don't need to do this. And will our congregation respond and be there the day that they visit us? But inside me, I knew it was right, that her intuitive hit leaned on me, and she practically grabbed my hand and pulled me into it. And I was thankful because it was a great experience.
It was.
We met some lovely people,
We did.
Sikhs and rabbis, and just so many wonderful people who enjoyed sharing their religions with each other.
Well, and the neatest thing about it for me was after they talked a little bit about, these are the principles of what we believe and how we practice. We all sat down and ate together and talked, which to me, I mean, it was really nice to learn some of their principles. And what I learned from that, and I already knew, but what I learned from that is, first of all, there's not that much difference between what one religion believes and another religion believes if we start talking about sameness as opposed to separateness.
Mm-hmm.
But the really big thing was when we went and ate together and had conversations, and then we really began to realize, oh, you might wear a different clothes, or you might practice a different way, or you might have a different way of doing things, and there's a sameness, there's a oneness, there's an allness about all of us that was palpable when we ate together. And we got to do some really interesting things. We got to go in, I forget what they call the Hindu place that we had to wash our feet before we could go in. And then the food, oh my gosh, the food that time was amazing.
Because they were vegetarian and so we are. It was just like...
But it was an amazing experience. It was a lot of work, but it was amazing.
So we stepped through this one doorway, and we ended up moving through other doorways. If we didn't make that step through that one doorway, we wouldn't have all the other doorways that we experienced, all the other lovely people that are practicing their faith, and it just was an incredible thing. And I think back to my foundation class. When I signed up, I didn't think I was going to be a minister. I didn't take it for that reason. I took it because I wanted to get through a divorce I was going through, and I wanted to get out of the debt. That was my step into the doorway. And it wasn't an easy step because I was new at this spiritual center called Agape, and I didn't know anybody. I met one friend, and I heard about the foundation class, and I thought about doing it. And then this friend comes up and says, "You should just join. If you keep waiting, you'll never do it." And I said, "I don't know. I don't know if I can afford it." And they let you pay as you go. So, and if you're not done paying it at the end, you can take as much time you want to pay it because you won't get your certificate until you pay. And I said, "Well, okay." So I go to the bookstore and I buy the science of my. I look to see if I can get the science of my book. Now I was broke. I was going through this divorce, and my credit cards were maxed out. I was just at the edge, as Dennis Merritt Jones says. I was at the edge, and I thought, okay, well, I'll see what the book costs. If I can get it, then I'll take the class. So I go in there, and it was way beyond what I wanted, what I thought I was comfortable paying. And the bookstore manager, who happened to be our minister's brother, said, "You want to take foundation class?" I said, "Yeah." "Well, you have to have the book." And I said, "I just don't have the bucks to do it." And he goes, "Well, I'll tell you what. You go down to Melrose to the Bodhi bookstore." That's what it was called, the Bodhi bookstore. And in the back, there's like a garage that's been turned into a used bookstore. Go down there and look. So I went down there and I found a book for $5. And I thought, I was resisting big time. It was like, I got to step through this door. I just have to make that step. And it was one of the most amazing steps of my life.
Life-changing.
Life-changing. To this day, foundation class, I grew more than any other class I took, and that's including going to ministerial school. It was an amazing time for me. The other thing in stepping through a doorway, sometimes you step through a doorway confident, knowing that this is going to happen, and you step through this doorway and this doesn't happen.
Yeah. Something
else happens, something even more glorious than what you thought you were going through that door for. So there's always an excitement of stepping through another door, and knowing that the doors are always open, they're always waiting for you.
I don't think it's always exciting.
No.
I can remember, so I had spent probably 16 years in banking, maybe a little longer, starting as a teller and working my way up to vice president, back in the days when there weren't female officers, let alone female vice presidents. And I had really enjoyed banking. It had been really good to me, and that logic part of my mind was working really well there. And we went through a time where the banks in Colorado were being purchased. And I was told that was probably because Colorado had resisted branch banking for so long, so we were all single little banks. And so at the point where accepted branch banking, we just all got swallowed up, and then again and again and again and again. And by then I was in charge of like all of the rules and regulations and procedures and things. And every time we get swallowed up again, and everything would change, and I'd have to change all the way the tellers did things, and the way the bookkeepers did things, and the way the proof department did things. And at that point, I had about half of the bank that I was in charge of. And I worked really hard to get there, and I'm at got this glass office in the corner of the lobby with the mahogany desk, and I'm working, 18 hours a day or so. And it's not fun anymore. And so every time I got swallowed up again, we had to take another, was not exactly a personality test. It was more like, are you fit for the job? And so the people talking to me said, you're really a non-conforming person in a really conforming job, and your intuition scores higher than anybody we've ever tested. We're really surprised you've lasted this long, which was the end. So it wasn't too long after that job got eliminated. And it's like, I knew it was coming. I knew I needed to go, but I had worked so hard to get there that it was hard for me to let it go. And so when they eliminated my job, I'm like, oh, so I didn't move fast enough, so here it comes. So it wasn't even a surprise. It was scary. And I heard, this is way before I found religious science, I heard Spirit say to me, you're supposed to find your own way. Because it would have been really easy for me to just go to another bank and get another job, because I had tons of experience. Spirit just kept saying, you're supposed to find your own way. And eventually I did. It took me a while.
So I said that walking through a doorway is exciting. And you said not always.
That wasn't exciting for me.
Well, excitement isn't always positive.
No, it was dread. It was, oh my gosh, what am I going to do now?
But once you went through it and you moved into your, and you relaxed into that room that you stepped through, wasn't that great?
After 2 or 3 years?
Well, and that gets to my point.
Okay.
That when you pass through a door to get what you need, there are no limitations.
Okay.
There's no time limits.
Okay.
Because
so it doesn't have to be wonderful just immediately.
Right.
Because it wasn't wonderful just immediately.
There are no age limits. There's no previous training needed to step through a door to see where it's going to take you. Didn't you end up doing homeschooling?
Yeah, I worked at a couple other banks in the meantime, but yeah, I did end up homeschooling for a couple of years.
And that was the journey of that door. I'm not literally talking about a door, but for me, it paints a picture of, here I stand and I have all these doorways in front of me,
Mm-hmm.
infinite amount,
Mm-hmm.
and I can step through any one of them. And as Dennis Merritt Jones says, step on the edge. Stepping through a doorway is like stepping on the edge, past the edge, and allowing yourself to just experiment, just
Mm-hmm.
experience what life has to offer. And it's never too late. There are many doors that are waiting for you to step through, and you don't even have to know why you're stepping through the door. Just take a step, make a change something in your life. I remember once I was working as a bartender at this nightclub on Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles, and the woman's name was Pat Collins. She called herself the hypnotist, and she would hypnotize people, make you, well, there's my arm, make you raise your arm and make it stiff as steel, and everybody would go under, even the employees, and then she'd bring us halfway out. So when she would say, drink up, everybody would order more drinks. But anyway, she taught a self-hypnosis class, and she said, in order to change something in your life, make some change in your life. And she said something like, change how you sign your name. And I decided, well, I can do that. I can change how I sign my name. And I literally had to practice it a lot so it would become secondary. But at the time I was an actor, and I had hair and beard and was all red, and I was like thinking I'm going to be an actor, but I limited myself by having this hair and this beard. And during the course of changing my signature, I decided that I was limiting myself, the parts I could get by having a beard.
Mm-hmm.
So I shaved it all off because I could always grow a beard for a part. And changes just started happening because I stepped through a door of an unknown. And I'm thankful for every door I've ever stepped through, as you may be too. But be aware when you're stepping through that that's what you're doing. Don't just do it haphazardly. Do it consciously. Take a step consciously knowing that something glorious is going to take place because you had the courage and the will to step through. You have anything else you want to say?
About that?
No. About what you want to talk about.
Oh. Well, I wanted to talk about following that inner guidance, because when I was in that position and I knew it was time to go, and I procrastinated because I didn't know what else I was going to do. But my inner guidance had already said, it's time for you to go. And so I've had that always, where I've known that next thing, or I've known what I was supposed to do next, or before I even had words for it, I had that. And I had it in dreams, and I had it when I was in ministerial school, and I was in the class that they call homiletics, and I had the divine pleasure of having Reverend Cynthia James teaching that class. And so I was having a hard time speaking when I got up in front of the stage. And I had done it a lot when I was in banking, but then I was talking about things I knew about because I knew those facts and those things. And this was very different, to be standing up in front of a congregation and doing a Sunday talk. And so she was very good about telling me where I was tight and what was going on. And that night I had a dream. And I was in this place with really, really wise women. And one of them said to me, here's my voice. You can have it until you find yours. And I felt it. And then I got up the next morning to do my talk for class. And it's like, whoa, I did get that voice and I did have it. And well, I've never gone back, but I don't know if I gave that voice back or if it was probably always mine that I got. And I just wasn't recognizing it, but that was so powerful. And I've had those powerful dreams bring me through the next doorway many times, where I just knew, where I did know. So there've been a couple of times where I was dragging my feet when I went through, but there were other times, like that particular one, where I had that dream, and then I had that voice, and then I just knew. So we have the opportunity when we step through the doorways, when we take those what feel like risks at the time, when we do things to be inspired to our greater thoughts and our greater yet to be, and our greater deeds and our greater life. And so at that point where we're hanging on to what the old thing is, it diminishes. Mm-hmm. It diminishes. It kind of sucks the energy out when you're knowing there's a thing that needs to happen, and I'm not ready to go through that door yet. So it's a diminishing.
It is. Well, like Dennis Merritt Jones says, fly or die. And we don't literally dive. We don't step through a particular door, but part of our spirit feels, like you said, diminished, like we've lost part of who we are. And it's never too late to go back and step through the door.
Right.
Because it's always there and it's always waiting for you.
Right.
And
it may be a different opportunity the next time, because that opportunity's gone. And it's still a stepping through and a growth and a greater. I had that experience when it was time to go to ministerial school. It's like, I don't know if I want to be a minister or not. And so I had so many ministers. Every minister will tell you that they had so many people behind them going, go through the door, just apply. And so the head of the dean of the ministerial school at Mile High at the time had a conversation with me, and she's like, so they're going to change the entrance, the way the entrance changes. And so you need to do it now. You need to get in there. You need to do it right now. And so that was like that little push right off the ledge into ministerial school. And then we see her at conferences all the time. And she's like, I've been telling you for years. Like, I know. But there isn't any going back. And it was just an opening and a more awareness and a more becoming who I came here to be. It really was. And had I continued to hold back and miss that opportunity, I'd have still been okay. I just wouldn't be the me that I am now.
That's right.
Doing the thing I am now.
And this teaching isn't for mamsy-pamsies.
No.
Some people think, oh, they just think it and it's done. Well, yeah, we think it and it's done, but we also have to do all the work it took, because to get through ministerial school for both of us was a lot of work, and we were working at the same time. Mm-hmm. And there's, when you step through the door, you're giving the energy that you need to get through it. Yeah, and moving too. So I've heard people call religious science is a great teaching. I mean, it teaches us to be independent and free on our own path. I've heard people call religious science a cult, and I just have to laugh, because a cult is having to follow somebody, have to go through somebody to get something, and we're just the opposite. Nobody has to go through me to get to God. Nobody has to follow me. You have your own journey. You can take it and step into it and just enjoy every step of the way. Yes. Because you may have had a door closed. You may have closed the door a long time ago, and all of a sudden you decide you want to open that door. Open it with confidence and know that you stepped through it. And it's not about succeeding at what it's your desire or not succeeding. It's about empowering yourself by stepping through that door, by having the courage to do it.
And it may not be that door that's the place you're going to end up. It may be that door that gives you the opportunity to go through the next door. That's the place where you're going to end up. Because had I not gone through the door of leaving the bank and leaving some other things that weren't working in my life, then I would never have gotten to the door of becoming a practitioner, and then what seemed to me improbable door of becoming a minister, it's interesting because I belonged to a network marketing group at the time, and I had friends all over the country, and we were talking regularly, and they all said, well, we saw it, we knew it. So sometimes we don't see it for ourselves, but others see it and know it for us.
And I've been writing poetry since I was 13, 14 years old. And I go back and look at some of the old poems I wrote as a young man, and it just says minister, all of it. I was talking about things that I now understand that religious science teaches. So it was always there. It just took a long journey to get to that door, to step through it. But again,
we had to go through the growth we had to go through to get to the place where we had to open several doors before we got there.
Had to have the successes and the failures, have the ups and the downs, the happiness and the pains. And it was all worth it, because our life is special. Each and every person's life is very special, and it deserves being honored and having all the greatness that we came here to experience.
I just want to read this one quote from The Pathway of Roses by Christian D. Larson. When you feel that you are greater than your ills, those ills cannot long remain, because what you inwardly feel you realize, and what you realize you bring forth in living expression.
What does that mean to you?
It means that we can spend a long time being afraid or thinking that we don't have the skills or we don't have this or we don't have that to do the thing. But then when we step through it, then it's greater than we could have even have imagined because we're that spirit in action that we're expressing, and the spirit's always there saying, okay, you can do it, just like the birdies outside.
Yeah.
Okay, you can do it. Okay, this is another little step. You can do it. Okay, good. You can do it. So that's what that means to me.
So just know that every door you step through, on the other side is exactly what you need.
Yes.
When you step through that door, whether it's something you like or you dislike, it's exactly what you need. And your needs are always fulfilled. All it takes is for you to step through. And I'm going to read that Ernest Holmes quote again because it means a lot to me. The doorway to the absolute, in other words, the doorway to heaven consciousness, stands open at the center of our intuitive perception.
Mm-hmm.
Our intuitive perception, not our logical perception, but our intuitive perception.
Mm-hmm.
And that perception will bring forth everything you need. The doorways will open and you'll know exactly which one to step through, and step through many. And I think even after this life experience, we continue to step through doorways.
I do too.
And we don't have to know where they are or where
Right.
they're taking us. Just enjoy the journey, because life is a wonderful journey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so blessed for the life I've had and the life I've got to share with you and the life I've got to share with all those that are listening.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Should we pray?
Yes.
So as we close our eyes and take a deep breath, just center into that place where God indwells you and me and each one of us. Into that place where we know that there is only that one life, where there is only one power, one presence, one infinite intelligence that creates all that is expanding and creating all of the time, creating more and more and more all of the time. And just so grateful to know that I am one with that infinite intelligence, that Reverend Michael is one with that infinite intelligence, that each one present here today and each one listening and each one everywhere is present with that divine intelligence, because that is all there is.
Yes.
And so in absolute grace, I know that we are each expanding into our greater yet to be, becoming who we came here to be, growing in infinite ways and growing in love and in peace and in truth and in harmony and in abundance and in wellness and in understanding others. That we are that space that God has created to bring forth newness, bring forth more, bring forth peace on earth.
Mm-hmm.
We are that.
Yes.
We are that presence. And so I'm so grateful to know that right where we are, God is, that we are guided into our greater yet to be, and that we always, always, always are supported and loved and in the oneness as we go through this growth. And so I pass this word in absolute gratitude to Reverend Michael.
Thank you. And the God that is within me recognizes the God within each person that's tuned in today. I recognize within you that heaven on earth consciousness, that everything that means to you is pouring forth in your life right at this moment. If it's good health, I see that good health. If it's abundance and prosperity, I see that heaven on earth consciousness within you, and I call it forth.
Yes.
If it's peace, if it's harmony, if it's a divine purpose, I see it within you, knowing that it was created by that one power and that one presence. And I celebrate who you are and what you are, knowing that from this day forward, you step through magnificent doors that opens up your heart and your mind to expanding in your glorious you, And so knowing that we are one, knowing that we hold this oneness within us,
Yes.
I see and send out light all across the planet, knowing peace where there's conflict, knowing health where there's pain, knowing the goodness of God is everywhere present in every living being. And for this, I'm eternally grateful, so very grateful to know that the words we have spoken are now fulfilling themselves in each one of our experiences. It cannot come back void. So in this sense of absolute gratitude, I now can release it into the love and the law, knowing it is done. And together we say, and so it is.
Amen. 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 I forget the rest of it. And woohoo! There's more.
Oh,
Hey, Paul.
Hello.
Yeah.
This is a song about the beautiful Rocky Mountains, the doorway to heaven.
Yeah.
And when you get up in the altitude, like you're going over Berthoud Pass, you look up at the sky and it's a deeper blue than you could possibly imagine.
That's true.
It's called Rocky Mountain Peace of Mind. Takes me a day to get away, rise above it all. I pack my stuff into my truck when I hear the mountains call. City life can be a dizzy routine, ceaseless activity. Make my senses numb. I go visit Devil's Thumb. I cross the Great Divide. I've got altitude. Standing on top of the world, where the sky turns a deeper blue. Oh, wilderness divine, take me away for a long walk in the pines and some Rocky Mountain peace of mind. Game trails wind through the alpine meadow. Wildlife freely come and go. Mother Nature's motion picture show here in Colorado. I surrender to the forest, empty out my head into the timberline wind. I'll keep my spirit fed. Oh, wilderness divine, take me away for a long walk in the pines and some Rocky Mountain peace of mind.
Yeah. I could actually smell the pines.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was awesome. That's one of your originals, right?
Yes, that is, yes. And that reference to Devil's Thumb is up in the Grand County. There's a resort called Devil's Thumb Ranch. And the Devil's Thumb is actually a rock formation that's on the Continental Divide. The big rock thing that kind of goes straight up and looks like a thumb.
Okay, we're going to take a little care of a little business, and then we'll come back for our last song.
Yay.
Thanks, Paul.
Okay, so you can, oh, no, you'd say your thing first, and then I'll tell them how they can do it.
Oh, this is the giving time. If you're feeling an urge, if you liked what took place, if you like to support us in any way, open your heart and send us a gift. That's what keeps us going, keeps the services happening. And very soon, I know we'll be meeting in person.
Yes.
And that'll be a good thing. And we'll be prepared by all the gifts that people have given. So open your heart and think about having us as part of your tithe. We would appreciate it.
And we'll still be doing the online thing for those of you who watch us from other places.
For sure. Yeah.
So we'll have some people here, and we'll be doing this, and we'll be having a combination of musicians here and musicians online. So we'll learn how to do it just like we learned how to do this, and it'll be fun.
It's an exciting doorway.
It is an exciting doorway to go through. So you see the Venmo code up there. If you use Venmo, you can just use your QR code and donate that way. Otherwise, the easiest way to give is to go to our website, cslnorthmetro.org. And there are a couple of ways to give right on the website there. And so we just appreciate it.
Yes.
And so you want to bless what's coming?
Yes. So just shine your energy towards the screen and join me by repeating after me. We give thanks for this opportunity to give.
We give thanks for this opportunity to give.
So grateful knowing our gifts go out into the world.
So grateful knowing our gifts go out into the world.
And bless many people.
And bless many people.
And come back multiplied.
And come back multiplied.
For this we give thanks.
For this we give thanks.
And let it be.
And let it be.
And so it is.
And so it is. So we get to hear Paul again.
Yeah.
Yay.
Here's a little song I wrote. Might wanna sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy. In every life we have some trouble. When you worry, you make it double. Don't worry. Be happy. Ain't got a place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed. Don't worry. Be happy. Landlord say your rent is late. He may have to litigate. Don't worry. Be happy. Ooh. Don't worry. Be happy. Ain't got no cash, ain't got no style. Ain't got a girl to make you smile. Don't worry. Be happy. When you worry, your face will frown. That will bring everybody down. Don't worry. Be happy. This is the song I wrote. Hope you sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy. In every life, expect some trouble. When you worry, you make it double. Don't worry. Step through that door.
Yeah.
Be happy. Ooh, don't worry. Be happy. Ooh, don't worry. Be happy.
Hey. That song reminds me of a saying, worrying about something that hasn't happened yet is like paying interest on a loan you don't have.
Yes.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
All right. Where's Sheila and Greg?
Oh, no. So join us on Zoom right after this service. Hi. There's an on-screen link, and it's also in the comments. So sign up on the email list to get a weekly email with all the information of what we're doing and all of the links and things that we do.
So once again, we're week after week. They're going to go out playing tennis. And we bless them for knowing that you're going to paint up through. And we thank Stephan. Yes, but we thank him for what he did. And a big thanks to Paul. He's done 2 weeks in a row with him showing up. Yes.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you all. And thanks for all those who took it. We love each and every person.
Yes.
So many blessings. See you in the Zoom room.
In the Zoom room. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
2.
Don't worry.
Yep.